There are places on Earth where time slows down, where the sky stretches endlessly above you, and the silence is so pure it feels like a voice in itself. This is the realm of the mountains, those ancient towers of stone and ice that rise above everything else, both physically and spiritually. As we embark on this journey through some of the planet's most awe-inspiring ranges, let your heart settle and your breathing deepen, because this is more than just scenery. It is meditation, transformation, and wonder written in peaks and valleys. Imagine beginning in the Himalayas, where the sun peeks shyly over the jagged ridgelines of Everest, casting the first golden light across glaciers that have existed longer than any civilization. Wind howls through narrow passes, carrying snowflakes and prayers alike, and the echo of distant bells from Tibetan temples fades into the thin, crisp air. We drift over Nepalese villages tucked into the mountain's lap, where colorful prayer flags flutter like whispers to the heavens. The terrain is brutal yet breathtaking, untouched yet sacred, and it humbles even the strongest soul. From here, we glide across continents to the European Alps, where postcard-perfect peaks rise above crystal lakes, and the air carries the scent of pine, fresh snow, and ancient stone. The Matterhorn casts a long shadow over sleepy towns, its pyramid shape lit pink and orange by the setting sun, while goats climb impossible ledges with ease. Snowfall begins to drift gently from a colorless sky, creating a dreamlike blanket over alpine forests and stone cottages with smoking chimneys. As we pass through the French, Swiss, and Italian ranges, we hear only the crunch of frost underfoot, and the call of birds echoing across vast white silence. Next, we move to Patagonia in South America, where the Andes cut sharp against the clouds like shattered glass. Here, jagged cliffs rise over turquoise lakes, and the wind speaks in ancient tongues. Wild horses gallop across endless plains, condors glide high above, and the forests seem to whisper legends in the rustling of their leaves. The glacial rivers here are electric blue, flowing through granite valleys where the rocks still hold the heat of a sun long gone. In this wild, rugged, and remote terrain, the power of nature is overwhelming, yet oddly peaceful, reminding us how small we are and how grand the earth can be. Our journey carries us northward, into the heart of the Canadian Rockies, where towering peaks are reflected perfectly in still, mirror-like lakes such as Lake Louise and Moraine Lake, their waters so clear and deep they feel like portals to another world. Autumn begins to arrive here, painting the forests in fiery oranges, golds, and reds, and elk call to each other through mist-laden meadows. Snow-capped mountains stand like silent guardians over it all, casting long shadows across icy rivers and deep green valleys. As we continue west, we come to the American Rockies, where mountain roads twist and turn through high passes and dense pine forests stretch endlessly in all directions. Sunrise breaks slowly, bathing the Grand Tetons, and Colorado peaks in soft peach light, while deer and bears stir from their shelters, and rivers begin their long journey down to the sea. The Sierra Nevada joins the chorus, with towering granite faces and the echo of waterfalls cascading down steep cliffs, while sequoias stand tall like ancient sentinels of time. From there, we cross the Pacific to Japan's majestic Japanese Alps and the sacred cone of Mount Fuji, serene and symmetrical, rising through a halo of clouds. Cherry blossoms bloom below its snowy summit, and the soft sounds of streams and wind chimes fill the air with harmony. Further north, we fly over New Zealand's Southern Alps, a rugged range of snow-capped peaks and lush green valleys carved by glaciers, where fog rolls in over fjords, and the call of native birds fills the silence. Iceland greets us next with its volcanic landscapes and dramatic coastlines, where black sand beaches meet snow-covered mountains, and steam rises from fissures in the ground, as if the earth itself is exhaling. Glaciers crawl slowly across the land, waterfalls spill from high cliffs, and the northern lights dance above it all, in a magical display of green and violet fire. Norway's fjords pull us in with their serene, mirror-like waters, and towering cliffs where fishing boats drift lazily through morning fog, and the sun casts golden beams through scattered clouds. The mountains here are dramatic and poetic, plunging into deep blue waters and rising into silver skies. As we approach the Arctic, we find mountains of ice and snow, untouched by human hand, their silence absolute and sacred. The wind here is sharp and clear, the light eternal during summer, and absent entirely in winter, giving the land a dreamlike rhythm. We now return south, passing the rugged Carpathians, the wild Scottish highlands with their haunting beauty, and the Dolomites, with their jagged, storybook silhouettes. Each has a voice, a mood, a soul. The Carpathians are misty and mysterious, hiding legends in their shadows. The highlands are raw and windswept, echoing with ancient battle cries and Celtic tunes. The Dolomites shine in pale pink at dusk, as if glowing from within. We drift through the mountains of Morocco's Atlas Range, where sand meets snow, and Berber villages cling to the cliffs. We cross into the Ethiopian highlands, where deep gorges and flat-topped mountains form a landscape that feels otherworldly. Every corner of the world has its own mountains, each unique in form, color, history, and spirit, but all of them share that same sacred silence, that sense of stillness that reaches deep into the soul. These landscapes aren't just scenery, are medicine, memory, and meditation. They remind us to slow down, to breathe deeply, to be small in the presence of something greater. They carry the stories of glaciers and volcanoes, of earthquakes and time, of life adapting and enduring. Whether cloaked in snow or blazing in the heat of the sun, whether towering into clouds or rising gently above fields, they offer perspective, peace, and awe. And as we near the end of our visual pilgrimage, the light begins to fade once more. Twilight falls gently over the peaks, casting them in soft hues of blue and lavender. Stars emerge one by one, until the entire sky becomes a blanket of shimmering light. Somewhere in the distance, a wolf howls. Somewhere closer, a stream murmurs its way through moonlit stones. And above it all, the mountains remain moving, eternal and wise. They've watched millennia pass, held the footprints of humans and animals alike, cradled civilizations and secrets in their folds. As your eyes follow the final shadows along the ridgelines, take one last deep breath. Let the calmness settle into your bones. Let the silence speak to your heart. This journey through the world's most breathtaking mountains may be ending, but their peace, their strength, and their beauty will stay with you long after the screen fades to black. And if these landscapes moved your spirit, if they offered you even a moment of stillness or joy, consider sharing that gift. Like the video, subscribe to the channel for more visual escapes, and pass this experience on to someone who needs it. Until next time, may the mountains rise gently to meet your soul, and may you always find peace in their silent embrace.